Shout out to the lovely and talented Devin for finding these TikTok videos. Always appreciate her contributions. Let's not waste any time. Let's get this started.
A relationship that is great when it's really good, but horrible when it's really bad. A relationship like that may signify you are actually dealing with a narcissist.
Oh my God.
So, when you agree with a narcissist,
Jesus, here we go.
everything's beautiful. Life is like a dream. However, if you dare disagree with a narcissist, they feel disrespected. So you can't
This is ridiculous.
actually have a feeling or an opinion or a perspective that they don't like because they take great
Really?
offense to that.
Oh, do we now?
So disagreeing
This is
in
a
your
bad
world
script.
means a disagreement. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. To a narcissist, they feel disrespected.
Oh.
Anyone who doesn't fall in line with what they think and feel immediately, they take offense to.
Oh.
So there's no working out conflict. There's definitely no perspective
She
taking.
said that 3 times.
And there's no appropriate resolution of conflict.
You said that 3
So a
times too.
narcissist, when you're agreeing with a narcissist, it's like roses and rainbows all day. The second you disagree, even though it's a respectful disagreement and you're entitled to disagree because you're your own person,
Basically, disagreeing
things go
makes you a
south
narcissist.
real quick.
I swear to God, the label of narcissist is without question the most overused, misdiagnosed label in the history of the internet. If someone has a little bit of self-confidence, he's a narcissist. If a guy takes a victory lap after accomplishing something great, he's a narcissist. Now, men do the same thing with the borderline personality disorder diagnosis when talking about women in their past. If she gets emotional, she's BPD. If she cheated on me, she was BPD and there was nothing I could have done about it. Yes, there are people out here who really are narcissistic according to the clinical definition. And yes, there are women out here running around with borderline personality disorder. Don't kid yourselves, these people are out there. But the frequency with which these armchair psychologists diagnose both men and women with either narcissism or borderline personality disorder is becoming ridiculously predictable. Well, it's the same thing here with Dr. Erin Leonard here, and based on this video, I'd actually like to call her doctoral credentials into question. Because the hot garbage she spews in this video makes me think that she's just another post-wall female on TikTok who simply attached the label of doctor without actually being a doctor simply to give her undeserved credibility. Women will see videos like this and they will think, well, Erin Leonard is a doctor, so what she's saying must certainly be true. And nothing could be further from the truth. This woman, this doctor, just sat here and said with a straight face that if you're in a relationship that's really good when times are good and really bad when times are bad, that you might be dealing with a narcissist. Newsflash, every relationship is awesome when things are good, and every relationship is terrible when things are bad. That's the human condition. That's relationships as a whole, at least in relationships where one or both parties actually gives a damn. For this woman to sit here and say that you might be dealing with a narcissist because a relationship is hot and cold is like saying that a woman who has emotional ups and downs has bipolar disorder. No, you effing idiot. Women have emotional ups and downs because they're, wait for it, women. It's part of their biological makeup. This is why I'm questioning this woman's credentials as a doctor, because less than 15 seconds in, she says some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard a doctor say in my life. Then she talks about how narcissists feel disrespected when and if you ever disagree with one. What she is describing is a man who is confident and secure within himself in his own masculinity to the point to where he absolutely positively will not tolerate disrespect, least of all a woman. What she did here was she attempted to split the very idea of disagreement and disrespect. People respectfully disagree with each other all the time. Sometimes people will even say, I respectfully disagree, as a way to make sure that the person they're addressing doesn't take their disagreement disrespectfully. It's funny how she snuck in the and disagrees disrespectfully with the graphics right there at the end. She had just realized that she forgot to further qualify this false scenario. Women who disagree respectfully are treated with respect. That's the bottom line. But as far as Dr. Leonard is concerned, if a man feels disrespected with a woman who simply disagree with him, that he must be a narcissist. But what she doesn't explain is something that women say out loud but then outright contradict themselves all the time. And that is, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Interestingly enough, it really is more about what we say and less about how we say it, because Kevin Samuels and Tommy Sotomayor had almost identical messages and talking points, and they were both crucified for what they said under the guise of it's not what you say, but how you say it. But Kevin and Tommy had two very different deliveries. Tommy, on one hand, had a very high octane, in your face kind of delivery. On the other hand, Kevin delivered his message cool, calm, and collected. Same message, different delivery, and they were both routinely eviscerated for what they said. Kevin Samuels was exactly what the Tommy Sotomayor haters of yesteryear said they wanted, but when he arrived, he caught the same kind of heat as Tommy. It was never about how they expressed their views. It was always what their views actually were. This doctor very conveniently leaves out the element of a woman actually being disrespectful. If a woman disrespects a man, then he will react in kind, narcissist or not. Modern women routinely call men who don't tolerate their nonsense narcissists. No, he's just a man who doesn't tolerate your shenanigans. It's the same thing as a woman calling men who enforce their boundaries and expectations a-holes. Then she stumbles through her diagnostic opinion when she says, there's just no working out conflict, there's no, perspective taking, which makes her sound like a 13-year-old. I mean, come on. Our doctors aren't even using proper English these days. And then she repeats herself 8 more times when she says there's no conflict resolution in 8 different ways. Let me make something very clear to the men out there who are watching who would never understand something like this otherwise. Conflict resolution, as it's defined by modern women, is quite simply agreeing with what they say and not standing your ground. That's it. As far as modern women are concerned, any outcome that is not favorable in their eyes is seen as narcissistic and a lack of conflict resolution. This is how American culture continues to castrate Western men. We have all of these fake doctors all over TikTok telling women that men who don't suffer their foolishness are narcissistic men with small penises who get triggered at the slightest disagreeable tone. My girlfriend disagrees with me all the time. Why? Because we're different people. That's what different people do. We're not going to agree on everything, but at the end of the day, I'm the one who makes the final call. That doesn't make me a narcissist. That makes me a man. Next video.
Have you ever wondered if the relationship you are in is toxic? As a
No, I
relationship
haven't.
therapist, I've worked with a lot of
Oh my
toxic people and a
God.
lot of victims of toxic relationships. So
have
I
you?
know exactly what goes down and what to look for. Here are
Awesome.
5 signs that you are actually the victim of a toxic relationship. 1, they criticize you for the absolute smallest things in the world. It could literally be not putting a dish away correctly. It could be not reacting big enough to a gift they bought you.
Oh, please.
You're walking on eggshells because you never know what they're going to criticize about you next. Have you ever gone out
called
for a night
competition
with friends
anxiety.
without them?
Oh, here
and
we
look
go.
down at your phone
Here
and
we go.
seen frantic messages from them checking in on you. Maybe they even pretend they're sick or start a fight and it literally ends up ruining your night.
There
They
we
are
go.
so insecure that the mere thought of you being independent from them actually makes them feel so afraid. When you are
Independent.
with them, you honestly feel like a bad person. It's like their whole schema
What?
of you is that you're bad. You're lazy, you're selfish, you're stupid, the list goes on. Have
would
they
you
ever
be with-
accused you of cheating and you're like, in what world would I cheat? People who cheat and lie will often project this trait onto you, making you feel guilty for no reason. Finally, guys, your
Wow.
friends and family absolutely hate them. They have a bird's eye view and can see the situation a lot more clearly
big
than
hoops,
if
I
they
see.
were in the middle of the situation themselves.
Oh,
If you've had
wow.
a family member or friend reach out and be deeply concerned, this is a giant red flag that your relationship is toxic.
Ay, ay, ay. Another relationship therapist. I guess all it takes is fake eyelashes and 1.5 million followers on TikTok to qualify as a relationship therapist. But she is missing one very important element that would maybe qualify her as a relationship therapist. A relationship. And ladies, I don't want to hear, well, you don't know her relationship status. Oh, yes, I do. Any woman not wearing a wedding ring is single. Point blank. Ladies, if you are in a committed relationship, wear a wedding ring so that everyone knows your relationship status. You do not have to be legally married to show the world that you are in a relationship of consequence with a man you love, trust, and respect. That's what mine does. As far as I'm concerned, any woman without a wedding ring is single. So is the woman on your screen who just called herself a relationship therapist. There are so many women who take relationship advice from basic bitches like this, but then wonder why they're perpetually single. They ask themselves, why do I keep getting passed around by bad boys? It's because Miss Wannabe Relationship Therapist with her Amaho fingernails and hoop earrings advises women to sleep around. Why don't men take me seriously? That is because women with eyebrows with more arch than the McDonald's sign tells you it's okay to go through your hoe phase, not realizing that your Instagram literally tells the world
She belongs to the streets.
Ladies, stop taking your advice from lifelong hoes like the female on your screen, because if you take advice from perpetually single women, you will be perpetually single. Simple math. Now, her first sign of a toxic relationship is a man who criticizes a woman. The examples of criticism she used were ridiculous. Who the hell criticizes a woman for stacking the bowls incorrectly in the cabinet? Who gets butthurt when a woman doesn't drop to her knees and make your toes curl if you get her a nice gift? These hoes always use extreme examples when attempting to explain their irrational mindsets. However, this also speaks to the incapability of modern women to accept constructive criticism from their men. God forbid a man give his woman constructive criticism. If you think women can't handle rejection, I can assure you they handle criticism even worse. Why? Because today's culture tells women that they are beautiful and perfect and deserve whatever they want for simply existing. So when women like this run up on a man who makes his expectations clear, it's looked at as criticism and therefore toxic. Her second sign of relationship toxicity is no surprise. This is the whole "a night out with friends and he can't handle it" argument that women have been using for decades. Men are not insecure about their women being independent. In fact, we love it when our women can function as adults all on their own. You know, like adults are supposed to do. That's kind of important when it comes to relationships. But being independent has nothing to do with willfully and wantonly putting yourself in situations that could lead to cheating. Ladies, there's nothing wrong with going out with your girlfriends. But if you are going to bars or clubs or other places where there is alcohol and horny men trying to get laid, which is pretty much everywhere at night now, then men like myself automatically withdraw our commitment. That doesn't make me toxic, that makes me smart. Why on God's green earth would I invest my time, my energy, my attention, and my resources into a woman who wants attention from men other than myself? Spoiler alert, I wouldn't. And neither would any man with any modicum of value and self-respect. Modern women routinely fight tooth and nail to maintain their ability to just seamlessly swing from one relationship to the next. Any activity that invites sexual attention from other men other than their significant other is ruthlessly defended with the typical sign language, which of course is shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. Shout out to the late great Kevin Samuels. What's that, you say? You don't want your woman going out with her single friends to the bar where there are single men trying to smash her single friends and will probably try to smash her too? You're insecure. This demonstrates, once again, that modern women characterize any relationship where it's difficult to get away with cheating as toxic, and any relationship where it's easy to cheat as healthy. What's that, you say? The guy you're seeing told you he does not commit to women who go to bars and clubs? He doesn't commit to women on social media or women who regularly travel for work? He is so toxic. Then in the same breath talk about how healthy their relationship is because her boyfriend has no problem with her texting her ex, going on vacations without him, and having girls' nights out every Saturday night. Independence is simply shorthand for keeping my options open while I'm still in a relationship. Nothing more. Now, her third sign of a toxic relationship is that you feel like a bad person around your man. If a woman feels like a bad person when they're with their man but stays in that relationship, then that's her problem. That has nothing to do with relationship toxicity. And for the record, men of value do not commit to women who are selfish, lazy, and stupid. That would be stupid. Sign number 4 was an effing joke. She said, "In what world would I ever cheat on you?" That over-exaggerated hyperbolic question is used by female cheaters the world over. Interestingly enough, she never just said, "I'm not cheating on you." She said, "In what world would I ever cheat on you?" That's not a denial, gentlemen. That was an admission of guilt. Once someone answers a question with a question, 571% of the time their question is asked in bad faith, meaning she was absolutely cheating. For this relationship therapist to pretend that cheating is some foreign concept to women is laughably pathetic. Women cheat as a matter of habit. They also use the "if he accuses you of cheating, then he must be cheating himself" strategy as a way to project false projection. It is the women who are cheating that constantly accuse their men of cheating, not the other way around. The average woman cheats way more than the average man, and it's not close. If the average woman is having way more sex than the average man, then it stands to reason that the average woman is cheating more than the average man. It still baffles me that women actually still believe that we don't know that they cheat so much more than we do. Her fifth and final reason, the friends and family not liking the boyfriend, could be true. There's just one problem. Modern women love toxic men. It's not the way it should be, but that's the way it is. And any friend or family member who expresses concern for her toxic boyfriend or significant other only further deepens her affection for him. Kind of the same way a teenage girl's affection for her bad boy boyfriend is strengthened by her father's vocal disapproval of him. Modern women are so allergic to adversity and the challenges that come with good relationships that any sign of conflict, any sign of discomfort, any sign of dissatisfaction is automatically a reason to hit the eject button because it's toxic. The mental gymnastics of modern women is always astounding to me. But if you want to see an even worse example of the mental gymnastics women perform to circumvent their bad decision making, then you need to check out this video. You're welcome.